Alright guys, welcome back to the another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the time series analysis and create the snow cover map so that we can calculate the area in each year from 1990 to 2024, the recent year, right? And in this video, I'll also show like how to generate this kind of trend line. If you have watched my previous section, then you probably already know like how to do these stuffs. But in case of like snow mapping, I'm going to explain the code right here, right? So first thing first of all, we imported all the required data set. So for this operation, we are going to import the Landsat 4, 5, and 7, and 8 and 9 in the other category. And I have some visualization, image visualization setting over here, NDSI views and image views, and I have area of interest. Simply I created that area of interest using this create polygon button, and my area of interest is right here near Zomsom. All right, so yeah, that's the basic stuff. And then here in the basic setup, so I set up my map to the AOI with zoom level of 10, and I also added my map, but by default it to false, right? And in order to generate this yearly time series data set, so I need to create the year list using sequence, and I'm creating sequence from 1990 to 2024. And for particular, for example, we can test each year one by one, but maybe for now I'll simply skip this code, and then I'll later on I'll come back to this section and then try to explain. But for now, maybe let's start from here. So first of all, I have this filter call function uh, which simply filter our collection, image collection, with based on provided date, and then the based on provided area of interest, right? And then here I'm simply compositing my Landsat 4, 5, and 7 imagery, because those 4, 5, and 7 share this similar spectral reflectance value, and those are generated from similar sensor. That's why I'm merging this. So the other benefit of merging this 4, 5, and 7 imagery might be like sometime we might get some void space, right? Due to cloud coverage or due to like scanline error in the Landsat 7. So if we composite all these bands, if we merge those bands, then merge those, I mean Landsat imagery, then we might cover those void, and then there will be minimum chance that we that some of the void still remain same, right? That's why I'm merging this imagery 4, 5, and 7. And of course I'm mapping that to like filtering the cloud, and then I'm calculating the mode, and then clipping it to the area of interest. So here many people might have seen that I used to do the median before, but this time I'm calculating mode. But if you are unaware about like this statistic, so here is one of my slides. So basically mean means, for example, if we have the, if we are analyzing 20 different imagery, then we will get the 20 different reflectance value from same area, same pixel, right? Then the mean means the mean value of summation divided by number of pixels value is the mean value, right? And a median is the simply we write those reflectance value from uh, increasing order, and then take the median value, which is like 10th or 11th position value is a median, right? But this time I'm selecting mode. The reason for selecting mode is, for example, if we have like if we get the 20 different imagery, 20 different pixel reflectance value, then the most common number from that particular location will be the mode, right? For example, if there is snow for like 2 or 3 times, then it will reflect the same value for 2 or 3 pixels, right? whatever the the repetition value is more inside whole year, then that's the permanent snow area, right? That's why I'm in order to find the permanent snow and ice area, so I'm calculating the mode. And yeah, so let's get back to the code, and then I'm calculating mode and then clipping to AOI and then returning image, right? And similarly in Landsat 8 and 9, so I'm also merging Landsat 8 and 9 because both of them share the similar like sensors. And then I'm filtering that to my AOI and then provided date. And again I'm masking my cloud and then calculating mode. And you might have noticed that for removing the cloud in 4, 5 and 7, I use cloud max tm function, and for 8 and 9 I'm using cloud max oli function. The reason for this is because if we check the properties here in the band, and in the bit max, so the bit 1 is cloud and 2 is cloud shadow and 0 is dense vegetation, right? So basically in order to remove the cloud from like Landsat 5 5 4 5 and 7, we have same bit max, so we'll remove one for sure, and sometime we might also remove two. That's why we are doing this operation, right? And but for the Landsat, in case of Landsat 8 and 9, for example in case of Landsat 8, so we have different bitmarks. So basically bitmarks is where is the required bitmarks? Okay, let me scroll more. Okay, here. So basically for the Landsat 8 and 9, so if the bit is 1 2 3, this is cloud, right? And 4 is cloud shadow. That's why we have different function. And maybe yeah, just down below. So basically mm, for the Landsat 4 5 and 7, we are removing 1 3 and 4, and then we are like simply masking that. And the other thing we are doing here is basically in the Landsat 4 5 and 7 imagery, the RGB band is 3 2 1, right? And now here whenever we return the image, we try to like write the image in the standard format is Landsat 8. So 2 3 and 4, you might have noticed that we are renaming SRB1 to B2, right? Which is RGB blue band, right? Blue band we are converting 1 to 2, and then green band we are converting B2 to 3, and similarly red one B3 to B4. And the reason for converting this is we are trying to make this similar, both image is similar, uh, I mean same for the like Landsat 8 and 9 collection, and then the 4 5 and 7 collection. So here also cloud max oli we are removing 1 2 3 4, and then after that here we are simply writing b2 b3 instead of esr b2 esr b3, right? And yeah, in order to calculate the snow area, so basically we write this variable snow area feature collection, and then we create the new feature collection, right? And inside which we provide our year list. Basically it's the list of year from 1990 to 2024, and then we map out using a year. So basically this map function will take 1 year at a time. So if we write the print statement here, we'll see one this function is taking 1 year at a time, right? And then we are here checking using e algorithm dot if. So if the our adjacent year, the past year is less than 2014, then we use the Landsat 4 5 and 7 collection, because before that we did not have 8 and 9 imagery. That's why we rely on 4 5 and 7 band. And then this is our date. We this will be replaced by the year, and then Jan 1 to December 31st. And same for Lancet 8 and 9, right? If the year is greater than or equal to 2024 2014, then we use the Lancet 8 and 9 image. And then we are ensuring it's an image, and then we are checking whether the image is valid or not. The way one way to check whether image is valid or not is to like check whether it has band or not. And sometime because we apply lots of like filters over here, right? For example, filter based on AOI date, and then we create like mode and also like mask out the cloud. Sometime whenever we do this kind of operation, we might lose all the images. That's why it's mandatory to check whether a image is available or not, right? That's why we are checking here. So if the size is greater than 0, that means at least it has one band. Then we run this operation, otherwise we return 0. So basically, if if the image has band, then we run this function, right? So basically inside this function we are calculating NDSI, which is normalized difference snow index. Basically it will determine whether the pixel is snow or not. So basically the formula for NDSI is green minus SWIR divided by green plus SWIR. And we, since we are using image.expression tab, and in the next section we have to provide the like what is SWIR1 and what is green, basically these two variable, right? And this is band 6 is SWIR1 and green is band 3, and we rename it to NDSI. And as I said before in the previous video, so for the binary snow max, so we rely on the threshold value. For this particular operation, when I try to explore, I found out that 0.4 is the suitable value, but feel free to change it to either 0.3, 0.5, or between some more decimal, right? But yeah, for now I'll rely on 0.4, and then I rename it to snow, right? And then in order to calculate the pixel area, so as I said before, so we first we first count the number of pixels which are exactly like which are snow according to this binary max, and then we then multiply that number of pixels with the pixel area, which is 30 by 30 meter, and then we get the snow layer. So basically this is the layer we previously set up, right? So after that we convert that to the square kilometer, and then we return it to like return is a feature, and then geometry we don't have any geometry, and then we will return year is year, area is area kilometer square, right? And if there is no image found, then return 0. We will return year, but the area is 0. So it's coming from this if statement, right? So basically if it has nothing, then we remove the we like simply return area as 0. And now we need to like remove the 0 area, because that's the error, or that's what we write when we did not find any image. So basically we filter out if the area is greater than 0. We only add that to the feature collection. And then now if we print feature area snow area feature collection, so basically this is our feature collection, right? And in the features we'll get up to like 34 values, that means from 1990 to 2024. And then in the each feature, so you will get the property area and then corresponding year, right? Snow covered year. And just to like print out this feature collection, either you can export this feature collection to Google Drive and then generate the interactive nice chart with other Python library or whatever library you rely on. But here in the GE you can use UI chart dot feature by feature, and then you need to pass the feature collection. and basically the x-axis and y-axis. In x-axis we are interested in year, in y-axis we are interested in area, right? And after that we write the title, horizontal axis, vertical axis, and so on. And if we print the chart, by default it will print like this, right? And if you want to see it more clearly, so the snow covered area is look like this, and over time it seems like it's decreasing. And in order to plot the regression line, of course we need to do some sort of like operation to generate that intermediate value. For example, intermediate value in each year, we need these points, right? And in order to generate that, so we can use the reduce column function, and then for the reducer we can pass the linear fit. And after that our selector will be year and area, and we first calculate the slope and intercept. Basically those can be find from this regression dot get scale and offset. And after that we also print out our slope and intercept. And after that for the trend line, so we again like loop out the year list, and this time we return the feature collection. Year is x, basically this is the year, and then area is slope multiplied by x, and dot intercept, basically it's the y equal to mx plus c version, right? And after that we can print out the trend line, and then we add that trend line data point. This is our data point, right? Basically for our data point we write set the type to the area, but for the regression line, so trend line, we set that type to the trend, and then we combine those both, like regression line and then the data point, and then simply generate the group chart. So basically in the group chart we provide the x property year and area, and then based on type, right? And then basically the first series will be our like blue line, which is like actual snow covered area, but for the red line we it's denoted as the regression line, right? And then if we hit run, then we'll get this graph. So basically it's showing the area over time, so how the snow covered area is decreasing. But yeah, there are few like limitation on this study. For example, you might have seen that our area in 1990 is around like 250, but it increased significantly in 1991 to 1745, right? And it might not be true. That's why it's always essential to check your data set, check your imagery before doing some sort of analysis. So yeah, I'm going to talk about this discrepancy or the limitation in next video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next.